What is up, everybody? Happy Friday or Saturday or Sunday, whatever day you happen to be watching this. Yes, happy holidays to all. Everybody, we got our signs. Feliz Navidad. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. However you celebrate the holidays, we wanted to be the first to kind of welcome you in and hope you have a great holiday season. Um, this is your favorite time of the week. It is Charlotte for the week, our last episode of this very long and fun season. Just as I like to say, put a bow on it, right? So this is our kind of put a bow on it episode right here, right? Very open forum. We're just gonna, you see everybody here. We're just here to kind of grade how the season went, tell you what we thought was good, maybe what we thought was bad, and then maybe a little bit of a wish list, a Santa's list, if you will, kind of going into next season, right? So I don't have much of a segue to that. We'll just kind of jump right into it, right? So the first thing we decided we would discuss, kind of like we did at the midseason with Gabby, we're doing report cards here, giving everybody their midterm, or in this case, the final term, right? And kind of what we think. So the first thing that we're going to grade is going to be on the offense. So obviously striker, the wingers. We can talk about Toklamati. We can talk about Vargas, obviously Zaha, those players. What's our overall grade? Just A through F, right? What do you think? We're going to write it down here, and then we're going to give our answers and kind of explain why we think that is what it is. So I guess without further ado, everybody's grade for the offense. This will be fun. We haven't rehearsed this in any sort of way, so I don't know what anybody's going to say. Uh-oh, we have an erasing already. And let me know when you're ready there.
I'm ready.
All right, Caitlin's ready. There is no right or wrong. Well, there could be, but no, just kidding. So everybody kind of flip and turn. I don't know if the camera hopefully can see all of these grades. Caitlin, I guess we'll start with you. What did you put? C plus, 65%. Even gave a percentage. Okay, I think that's going to be our.
65 is a D.
Well, it's a C plus in this particular range. Okay. So, all right, Caitlin, tell us why. Oh yeah, Mike. Sorry, here you go.
I put a 65% because I think that we had times where we were really good on offense, but then there was also times where we should have gotten more goals, and also other times not shooting and maybe passing. So that's why I think that it can improve.
So it was good at times, but bad at times, and so it just averaged out to C plus. It makes sense to me,
and
right in the middle.
I think that they need to be better on when to take shots, when they're actually, because there was many times where they didn't concede very many of their shots.
Okay, I like that. That's a great answer. I was a little less. I liked it. I gave us a B plus, as you'll see here. Definitely, it wasn't an A for kind of the same reasons Caitlin just mentioned here, right? There were lapses, right? There was a lot of those 1-0 games that we're pretty accustomed to here at Charlotte. But overall, I thought the attack was there, right? For most of the season, we were always very dangerous. If we have the players, I felt. Obviously, there's a couple players that could have been better, maybe performed better within their position that would have gotten this to an A. But all in all, I think we have a good, formidable, kind of upfront attack that is hopefully long withstanding, right? It's not just something that was a flash in the pan. It's a lot of younger players, or in the case of Zaha, yeah, he's a bit older, but certainly showed the talent, and hopefully he'll be here for a while. So I gave us a B plus. Looks like same here.
I also gave a B plus. I think maybe I would have A in the beginning of the season because we were, definitely on fire. But I do think there was a lapse once Pat left in our offense until Toklamati stepped up, and then we had the time, where we couldn't seem to do anything on our little losing streak. But then I think that we really got exposed when we saw what happened when BL and Zaha went out.
Sure.
So
that's true.
But I think even in the times that they were missing, we still had our moments where we were threatening and had the potential to score. But I also agree with what Caitlin said, and I think you did too. We definitely had times where we should have been shooting the ball, and we looked for that extra pass or got too cute in the box, and I think that also hurt us because some of those, if you make the keeper have to make a save, you
never know what happens. Right? Exactly. So. Okay, I like that. Pass it on down the line here.
I got us with a B this year, and the reason I graded a B is I thought the regular season was probably higher than that, but once we got to the postseason, we lacked creativity and we struggled to score goals, so that's why I marked us down with a B. Um, I do think the creativity of Pep Biel kind of hurt us, but at the same time, it's the most goals in Charlotte FC history, so improvement over last year and previous years, but I want to see us get up into that A category.
I would agree. Okay, I like that.
So I
At
give
least
them
you're-
a B plus because there was some times where they couldn't get the ball in the box when there was like Vargas there or Tokomati there or Brandt to get the ball. And I also think that they they need to be more consistent on like passing less and making the goalie make more saves.
Okay.
And like shooting.
I don't disagree at all. I mean, we're all kind of on the same page. I think if we cumulatively kind of put this out, I'd say the score would be somewhere around a B, B minus if we were kind of putting everybody together there. And we all kind of said the same thing, right? So it's a situation where the offense was there. We had the players, maybe not the depth. A lot of us talked
Right.
about the depth behind people like Pep Biel, like Zaha. Like when we lose those players, it's hard to replace, which probably going to be the case for most teams in the MLS, to be fair. But specifically, we did see that this year for us. Well, we'll talk about Miami a different day. I have a whole episode for them, I promise. But different episode, different day. But overall, yeah, I think we were all pretty happy with the way the offense played. Want to add a little bit, maybe going into the offseason to give us that depth, that security blanket, if you will, to kind of give us a little bit more proven. And then less is more, right? So maybe a little bit less passing and more shooting on goal could lead to some more goals coming in next season. So. All right. And then kind of moving on to the midfield, right? So we'll go ahead and move into midfield next. Obviously, our Ashley Westwoods, Brent Bronicos of the world, right? Same grading scale, right? A through F. What do we think? We'll write them down and kind of the same way reveal it to you here in a second. So let's go. This one should be fun. I think we have maybe a lot of variety here. Everybody's ready? Okay, we're going to go the other way. You still have the mic over there, Maddie? Yep, perfect. Okay, we're going to start with Maddie on this one and then just kind of go round robin the other way.
So I give midfield a C minus
Okay.
because there was a lot of chances that Westwood could have had. And he also hit the crossbar so many times.
That one stinks. That's,
Yeah.
tough luck, but yeah.
Also, Brant also had a lot of chances because he also did the same thing, hit the crossbar.
Only a couple goals between the, two or three of them.
And I honestly really wanted to see an Ashley Westwood banger. He
all in those
he
playoffs.
was so close all
Yes.
the time.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I like that. C minus. I'm not disagreeing necessarily. I might slightly, but we'll get to that.
I got us with a C plus. Kind of the same reasons with the offense. We lacked creativity, I think, and that comes from the midfield, particularly when Pep Biel was out. That's probably the bright spot for sure. Also, I think defensively they weren't as sound as I would have liked them to be this year. And I think that midfield and that transition we struggled with at times. So that's why I gave a C plus.
Okay. What about you, Amy?
I gave us a solid C.
Either way, yeah. Give that
I
forward
think
placement.
I just love Ashley Westwood, but I think overall, if you look at his season, he would also say it was kind of just mediocre for what he's capable of. He had moments where he was really, like it was like, okay, this is the Ashley we love and is there, but he was either on or not at all. Like there wasn't really, which I think just averages out for him to be just kind of mediocre. And I think where we are exposed is in our midfield.
I agree.
I think we don't really press together as a midfield, or when we do, we press too much, and then it leaves us exposed defensively, and we are ended up having to chase the ball. And Diani, he's another one. I mean, he just, again, if he was good, he was good, and if he wasn't, he wasn't. I mean, there wasn't I don't even really know if I had a solid, like, they were there, showed up every game type midfielder. So I think that's where I just put us as average. Like, nothing really stood out this year in the midfield I mean, Pep is definitely the highlight, but when he's not there, it really shows the vulnerability that we have in the midfield.
100%. I don't know that I could have said it better. I did give us a C plus versus the C. Really, that has more to do with Pep Biel gets the plus. Right at the end of the day, and again, not to necessarily discredit people like Ashley Westwood, like Brent Bronico. Not saying that they didn't do their job the way that they could, but to your point, was it consistent enough? I don't think so. I thought personally we just got outran there a lot. I mean, Brent Bronico does a lot of running. Don't get me wrong, he does, but he does a lot of running and then not a lot of necessarily production on the end of it. And then Westwood, kind of not the same way, but kind of in the same vein. He what he put 1 or 2 goals out there this year most, right? And again, not that we're asking him to score 10, but
a solid 4 or 5.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of consistent pressure there, at least a threat that you can score from from that particular position. And again, once Pep Biel went out in about 2/3 through the season, you just saw the decline, right? And that's no disrespect to a Gianni who came in and did his best to replace him, but to Amy's point, he's just a little bit here, he's a little bit there. He's never, he doesn't just have that consistent amount of what we want to see from the midfield. And then, when it comes to pressing, right, the only time we were pressing was when Pep Biel was in there, kind of leading the line from the top. It seemed like once he went out, we were just absorbing whatever the other team could bring our way. And to me, that's a sign of the midfield getting ran over, right? So this will probably be my worst grade. I'll be honest. I shouldn't have said that as a spoiler, but at the same time, I do think we need to be a little better, have a little bit more, oomph in the midfield, kind of moving into next season.
I will say, just to give some credit to Ashley Westwood, I think maybe he was mediocre in a C on the field, but I really saw him this year step up in the captain's role. I think there were times where he really did bring the team together and helped us out at some times. So I think that was kind of his highlight this year. He really showed the leadership and the bringing the team together.
He was the one that kind of really put that forward in terms of top four. He's the one that vocalized that at the beginning of the season and kind of, was the leader of the team to help get them to that height, right? So you have to give him that credit from a captainship standpoint. But again, if we are just strictly basing this on the field, I feel like I can go out there and just blindly pick plenty of other MLS midfielders and, make a replacement that could do just as well. That's just kind of my own opinion.
I give them a big fat D plus.
Our favorite grader so far. I love this.
I think that I want to see the midfield give more goals. I really think that they're if we left Pep Biel out of it, I think there would only be 5 goals from midfield out of all of them. And I want to see the midfield providing more the attack, because they're not all just defense. And I also think the midfield was a part that really hurt us. They were all really pushed up, and then we had nobody back for the defense. And I also think that the midfield was a lot of the time drawing fouls and things that were not needed. They would be so far up that they start running back, and then they just immediate draw a foul. Or if they're helping back in defense, they're most of the ones that are drawing the fouls and causing us goals
bad
and
situations.
Stuff. So I just want to see the midfield improve on going goals, but also dropping back and helping on defense, because I
Both
feel
sides of it.
They were very not consistent.
I like that. Yeah, our favorite grader so far, by the way, as far as she's put it out there. She don't care. Exactly. So we all are kind of in agreement on, maybe not grades necessarily down for like for like, but same kind of sentiment from everybody, right? It was there. It wasn't super consistent, and just not enough production from that side of the ball. Ultimately, is kind of what we thought. So couldn't agree more. Obviously, I put the score down, so we all said the same thing there, right? So. Totally agree. All right, and then kind of moving forward to moving back, I guess, really, to the defense, right? So our defensive line, I think this one will be exciting. So same rules. You guys got it at this point, right? Just kind of putting a grade down, and let's see what everybody's got. So I'll go ahead and write mine. Some people jumped the gun on me on this one. That's okay. pull them up and let's see if anybody's got a specific grade that I
Well, let me
think
make
jumps
mine
out. Reveal 3, 2, 1. We got A plus down there. We got a C, C minus. We got a C. I'm a B over here. So I think based on this, I want to start with Maddie first because you gave A plus. Let's hear the A plus first.
So part of the reason why I give him an A plus is Malanda and Burn. First off, Burn has been all season running and just kept running. And I remember that one time when I don't know what team we were playing, when Malanda ran back and Kalina was out of the goal and he ran into the goal and rocked it out. That's what
Crazy plays. Yeah.
Because Nathan Bird would just run
Yes.
and help out a lot, and Milano would just skywalk it.
His that one video they had of him when he was getting back in the playoff series. I don't know if y'all saw that video. Boy, he was motoring. I mean, we sold a player for $10 million, so hard to argue against what Malanda did. So okay, I like that. I gotta go actually to Amy next. So you gave us a C minus here. Is that your worst grade so far?
It is my worst grade so far.
Okay, please explain.
So this is mine because I think when Byrne was gone, our defense was terrible.
Fair.
I mean, there was a lot of silly, stupid soccer 101 mistakes. And then I still think even in the playoffs and towards the end of the season when he came in, the ball watching that this defense is capable of doing at times sometimes is obnoxiously annoying. It's like, guys, you're professional soccer players. You stop the ball first. I don't care if you have to leave your man, but go stop the ball and hope that somebody else says, okay, this guy's kind of close. I should probably go cover him. But I just think when Byrne wasn't in there and then Toflo was in there, but then he wasn't, and I think we had to switch sides. I just don't think there was a lot of consistency in our back line this year. Privet was in, then Privet was out. Reem came in. I mean, I do think Reem and Malanda are solid. It makes me worry now that Malanda's gone, what that looks like for us. I love Privet. I'm a big Penn Stater, but I don't know if that's who we want to be in the middle with Tim Ream. That seems a little scary. But I just think we were exposed way too often defensively. And because of our midfield not liking to come back and help out defensively, I think there are a lot of goals we left in the net, especially when Kalina was on his A game, which he was for part of the season. So I expected a lot more from the defense, especially coming out of last season.
Fair. No, I think so. I'll jump in on the next one and then I'll pass it off from here. I gave us a B. After listening to you, maybe I should have gone a little lower, but I listen, overall, I thought the defense was fine. I thought it was a B, right? I thought their progression was pretty good. I mean, especially obviously players like Malanda and Reem back there being able to start the attack, if you will, from that position. And so, being able to have that just kind of route one football, if you will, where, we're starting it from the back. And I mean, you go look at most of the goals we scored this year. I guarantee we're starting it on the defensive side probably 70, 80% of the time, right? Where it's a pass from there that's almost bypassing the midfield. So maybe I looked at it too offensively to grade for a defensive perspective, because the reason it wasn't an A or in the A range was because of what you just said, right? They essentially got a little cooking going on. So just everybody. But anyway, they, especially there in the middle of the season, the May collapse, the June collapse, right? We saw mistake after mistake after mistake. However, when I graded on a whole, we still finished top 4. We still, we were able to kind of accomplish our goal. And I thought a lot of that was due to the fact that we did have the reliable defenders back there, the Malandas of the world, the Reams back there, the Burns of the world once he came back and healthy, right? Us as a squad with those 4 back there between Marshall Ruddy, Ream, Malanda, and yes, he is now, and Byrne. I thought when that 4 was in there, I felt very comfortable every game that we're not going to give up 2, 3, 4 goals, right? We're giving up 0, 1 goals, and we're really progressing the ball forward from that position. So I thought it was a position of strength, but there were some definite mistakes made that kind of cost us a little bit. I don't know, rock paper scissors. Who wants it now? You already got the mic, so let's go ahead and go with Brian next. So.
Yeah, I had to see a lot of the reasons that Amy mentioned. Inconsistent. When players went down, we weren't able to meet the level. I know Dino talked about not much production on corners and stuff from defenders, which you'd like to see, increase in 2026. So that'll be curious. But yeah, I mean, I think just based on what they did in 2024. Overall, it was just kind of a regression.
Step back. Okay.
And then there were times that, I'm going to include Kalina in the defense as well, that he didn't cut it for times, and then he was great at times. So just that, I think I gave him a C just because of the inconsistency.
Mhm.
And we gave up a lot of goals.
That's true. I mean, especially in that 1.5 months was terror, but understood.
I gave a C. For a lot of the reasons Amy said, but also
Amy.
I think that
That's mom, by the way, for
Right.
everybody else watching. That's mom,
I-
daughter. But anyway,
I think that they were also very inconsistent as well, and I feel like we really hurt on the transitions. Like if our defense wasn't back and not ball watching, it would go right over our heads, and it would just be an automatic goal. I also feel like we would step up on the huge plays, and you're like, oh my gosh, how did they like kick that out or save that? But then on like the little like goals or easy like defensive plays, they just like slack almost, and I feel like
I see
that's
that
where
New
we're
York City
missing.
goal in my head right
Yes,
now. That's the one I'm
freaking
looking
But I
at.
also like feel like I also saw in defense this year, I saw like leadership too, which I think was also good coming from like Malonda and Reem. I felt like they had very good leadership on the team, but the defense was so inconsistent. And I feel like we also need to like this is also for Dean and like management. We need to find a like defense that we're with like for the whole season. I feel like there was a new player or a player that got hurt or like we were just never having the same defense for
Continuity.
multiple
Yep.
weeks. It was always people weren't healthy or we were getting red cards or all of the things. I think we just need a like defense that is set and not always changing.
Left back.
I got you. Hey, that is a big position. I decided later. I gave us a B for Big Bill Tuiloma. Remember our guy back there in the fans, Bill. So that was the reason I gave us a B. Obviously, no other reason, right? So, just kidding. But yeah, at the end of the day, that seemed to be our weakest, honestly, which I was a bit surprised. But I guess looking back on the season the way that we did, hey, I think we did a good job justifying that. So. Last but not least, goalkeeper, aka I guess this is a little bit more, individual. We'll really talk about Kalina here. Obviously, Bingham played a handful of games, but overall, it was Kalina's year. How did he do? Yep, I'm going first. All right, so I gave our big guy in goal, Kalina saves, A-, right? So or Kalina sheet. So A- overall. Hard to argue much more from him. Obviously, yes, between May and June, was he struggling? Did they bench him? Yes, I get that happened. Can happen to any player. He was coming off a season in which he won goalkeeper of the season, right? And so it was natural to expect at least a bit of a step back. And so I just think it took him a bit to get his shit together, his stuff together. Sorry, guys. And so in any case, he did though, right? I mean, by all accounts, once he got benched for those couple of games, whatever it was, and he came back in, I don't know that there was not a better goalkeeper in the MLS. I didn't watch them all, but I could not imagine there was a better goalkeeper in the MLS from basically July on through the rest of the season. I thought he was fantastic. He was everything we could have hoped him to be. Obviously, the save against Messi stands out. Obviously, the PKs against NYCFC stand out. A lot of memorable moments from Kalina this season. A-, and I hope he's back next season doing the same thing. That's where I'm at. nose goes. Who's next? All right, right here. Amy's next.
I also
You have your mic?
No, I also gave an A minus for Kalina. I think overall, if you look at the team as a whole, he was our most solid player this year, even though he had the lapse. I think coming off a goalkeeper of the year, I really thought he should have been in contention for it again this year.
He got robbed.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, with the defense we put in front of him and the score I gave the defense, we gave up a lot of goals, but I can count many times he like made crazy saves. Now, did he leave a few go in that he shouldn't have? Sure, but when you had someone, I mean, he's solid. There's no one else I want in the goal for like my team. I think he brings the energy, and I like Kalina. And I mean, how many Kalina sheets did he have?
I think he was second in the league, right?
So I just think solid A minus. I would have given him an A plus or an A if he would have had his little lapse and got benched.
Sure. I want to go to Maddie next. She looks like she's ready to talk on this one, so I'm ready to see this.
I gave him a C minus.
Whoa!
Okay, let's
Right to jail, right away.
let's see
I
it
have a
then.
valid reason.
Okay.
Because
This
a
is
lot
my
of times he would kick it out a
Oh,
lot.
So his
Yeah.
actual
Yeah,
position
right.
or
Because,
possession play. Okay, interesting.
He
I
would
don't
always
mind.
get the ball, and he would always like at like the last 5 minutes, he would always like kick it out.
He did have a lot of throw.
And
That is fair.
also, I disagree with the statement that you made of like, that
He's the most solid
Yeah,
player on the
I
pitch.
don't think so because I know who the solid player is. No one. I don't think anybody can be that man.
That's fair.
And to go back to Kalina, he had his times that he was good, and then he had his times when he was like not the best.
Right.
Jail.
Because a lot of times he would either kick it out, or when he would come out of the box, he would like get megged, and then the other team would score.
He had his time. I don't disagree. But, well, I guess actually not but. I've already given my grade. Let's go ahead and move on to.
I have a B plus for Kalina. He was good for big parts of the season. He had that dip, as the team did. So I think I read or I heard that he had the most saves for the season.
He
So
did.
he probably should have been in contention, as you guys mentioned, for keeper of the year. But you can't get an A if you have a big dip of 10 games or so, or 9 games. So that's why I went with a B plus. Once we brought Jake Callender in, it seemed to kick his butt into gear, and he was the Kalina that we loved and learned to love from last year. So yeah, just I would look for a little bit more consistency in order to give him an A.
Okay, fair. And I guess last but not least.
Whoa, that face.
I think I disagree with almost everything everybody said. I gave him a D.
Believe it or not, jail.
I think if you win goalkeeper of the year last year, you should come back and we should see improvement, not non-improvement. He was making those like amazing saves against Messi, but like I feel like if you win goalkeeper of the year, you're not supposed to have a dip. You're like I feel like some of the saves he made or like didn't make, I feel like some of them like you're supposed to save them. I just think that sometimes you're like supposed to save it, or like for Messi, that was just one that was like physically you could just save. I just think that
Believe it or not, jail, right away.
there's improvement, and I don't see the improvement he made from last season.
Everybody wants the mic right now, by the way. This is awesome, actually. So this is like a generational thing. Like millennials, never mind. Oh yes.
Gen X.
Yeah, we love this guy, and then it looks like the Gen Zers over here, like this guy's chopped liver. All right, you got the mic now.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that Kaylin, you have the correct hat on because you're
Richie.
very grinchy, and your grading system is grinchy as well.
So to add to that, some of the penalties, like during
The NYCFC game.
like NYCFC, when the player like weakly kicked the ball, he could have saved it, and he didn't. And some of the stuff that would make me mad about Kalina, no offense, but the other team would make those easy shots, and he would just not go for it. And we know he would go for it, and not just stand there and let it go in.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a Kalina stan. I'm sticking with what I said. This is going to be an ongoing debate. I didn't realize how. I thought that would be a pretty
Like solid.
standard, yeah,
Yeah.
but everybody disagrees. So that's actually fun for us. But hey, Kalina saves all day here. Like we love the guy. This side of the room can now partake in my Kalina chant at the
That's
games.
right.
This side may have to reconsider for next season. We'll see because we love that guy. I love that guy.
It's
But
for real.
at the end of the day, that was a very fun
Maybe
segment.
because
I'm
he's
glad we went
closer
over
to our age.
that. Perhaps that's what it is. I don't know. But what we have learned, Kalina, not for the Gen Zers. Okay, interesting. So we'll know that moving forward. All right, and then a little special bonus from our midseason reports. We are going to go ahead and give you our Player of the Year. I should have gone ahead and that last segment, crazy, right? I mean, Kalina, that was awesome to watch. But yeah, so this one should spark a little debate as well. Our Player of the Season. Who do we think the best player of the season was? I am starting this one with Amy.
My favorite player of the year was Pekovic. Just kidding, BL.
Okay, yeah, no,
Okay, I just think, sorry, Pep, he before he got hurt, I guess the first time really, was right up there in player of the year. Like
100%.
he had assists, he was scoring goals. I mean, when he was on the pitch, he was making things happen. The team was on fire. It just I just think he's integral to the keeping the core of our team together, and I don't think we fully got to see the potential of what Zaha and him bring together collaboratively, week in and week out. And then if we add Tofo to the mix, I really think those three can really have some of those other guys that were just mediocre really step up. But I think it all is centrally solidified with BL.
I don't disagree at all. Definitely, yeah, Player of the Year.
So Pep.
Through those first few months. I mean, no doubt. I mean, an MVP candidate, like he talked about, 10 goals, 10 assists in what 2/3 of the season. Right. The production was clearly there, so cannot go wrong with that choice. Going to Caitlin now.
Don't get hurt.
Yes. Oh, and we should also go ahead and congratulate him, by the way, before you put yours up. I don't know if we've said this yet, but he did officially sign a DP deal with Charlotte FC, so staying here long term. We do love that. So a little bit of bonus Charlotte news for the week real quick. Pep BL staying on a DP deal. Who is your player of the year?
My player of the year is
Oh, my gosh.
Abada.
Yeah.
I think that people hate on him. Just kidding, guys.
Not Abada.
My player is Zaha. I honestly think people hate on Zaha so much for
That's okay. We can get the pin later.
I think that Wilfred Zaha is so good, and he got hated on so much because of how tough he was and how many times he got kicked out. But I think that is something we need on our team. There is so many players on Charlotte FC that are so soft. Like Abada, he'll get barely kicked, and he's the one rolling on the ground. I just think that we need the fire that Zaha has to go at it, and I feel like we need to be more aggressive. And Zaha's just amazing player. I think it really shows his skills, his passing. Even when that one game he got played in the middle, which isn't his position, I just think it was so good. Goals, skills, leadership, aggressiveness.
Fire.
Yeah.
He
That's
brought it
what I
all.
think.
There is no doubt that is a great choice. We'll see if anybody agrees, but I think that is a great choice. Good job, Caleb. And all right, we'll go. Yeah, Brian, go ahead. See what we got here.
My player of the year is.
He's got to reveal. I told him he's got a whole reveal.
Building suspense.
Look at
Building
this.
suspense. I think it's clear just because of the what happened when this player was out. So we went on a great streak in the beginning.
Okay.
This player went out on injury during the
Okay.
middle of the season, and we took a dip. And then when he returned, we got back on form. And that
Show
player
me
is
that.
none
Bernie
other
Byrne.
than Nathan Byrne.
Okay. I like that.
Solid.
So My favorite player, my player of the year is Milanda.
Show us the board.
Go ahead and put it up there.
Dilson Milanda. Milanda made so many amazing plays, and to add to that, honestly, no offense to Zaha, but Zaha needs to calm down. He complains.
Take a Taylor Swift
Yeah.
page.
He complains way too much, and sometimes he just needs to take a deep breath and just walk away from the situation and not talk back. And I don't think he should get Player of the Year because he needs to be a lot more calmer and walk away from the situation and not go off. Right.
Fair. I don't
And
necessarily disagree.
my-
Why Milanda
Because Milanda's the best player ever.
though? Well, duh.
And
Silly me.
he's the best defender. And my favorite play was probably when he ran to the net and saved
That's
the ball.
what
I mean,
a play.
we did make a lot of money off
I mean, you talk about a player that. Correct me if I'm wrong. We got him not necessarily for free, but for like $200,000 or something, basically
And
next to free.
he's
And now we
also-
sold him for $10 million.
Yeah.
I don't know that we're going to find a player that we're going to make a surplus like that outside of Patrick Ajiman
And
for that
also,
type of money. So it's
for
hard
the
to argue.
last 2 years, he's been the first person to score on a header.
That is true. That is true. He
And
scores
nobody
goals
else
from the
has done
back
that.
line. He defends the back line. He can sprint as fast as about any of them. Again, going back to that video, he is a Dilson Milanda. We love him. He's probably my
Right.
second player of the year. My second player of the year. But my first, I could not agree more with our girl over here, Kayla. It's got to be Wilf Zaha
No,
this
it's
year.
not.
Uh,
That's Toko.
We
See,
Toko. Toke's up there. Toke's up there. We love Toke. We love all of our players. It's Charlotte FC. It's all love here, guys. But Wilf Zaha is the player of the year. Wilf Zaha took the most fouls in the history of the MLS this season, giving us opportunity after opportunity to be able to move the team forward and give ourselves those free kick situations. Do we always take advantage? Not necessarily. But Wilf Zaha is the person, in my opinion, that was there consistently game over game, unless he got suspended for red card.
Sure.
Different story. But he played 90 minutes pretty much every single game out there. He's on the island by himself. Once the team, it seemed like as Zaha went, the team went, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion. Not to say that that wasn't the case for Byrne. I think that was a great choice as well. But when Zaha, it obviously took him a bit of time to kind of get acclimated into the team and into the league and into the country even, right? But as he did and as he started to grow and as the team started to kind of trust in what he was doing, that's when we saw the team at the best. That's when we saw the team win that 9 games in a row MLS record, by the way. And it was all, in my opinion, because Zaha was the center of that. And so, in my opinion, again, first season in the MLS, getting a double-digit, 10-goal, 10-assist season.
Yeah.
I just have a hard time going against our number 10. I can't wait to see what he can even do in the next season with the full preseason and kind of going there. So, great choice on yours. Everybody else, pretty good, but it's got to be our guy Zaha at the end of the
I
day.
would like to add to that.
Okay.
Because
Retort.
honestly, I get that he would always get fouled. I get it. But you can't say that Wilfried Zaha did not get more fouled when Patrick Ajiman was at Charlotte FC. You cannot say that. Because
I
Patrick Ajiman, he got fouled so many times in the box
He didn't get the calls.
and never got the calls. And Zaha actually got the calls.
That's true. I mean, Pat
And
was
also-
getting, I guess there's a little bit of a level of delicacy there to be able to get at those
And
fouls,
what
to
would
draw
make-
those fouls.
And also another thing that would make me mad is when Zaha would fly off the handle and not calm down.
Well, listen, can he get a red card with 1 minute remaining in the
Yes,
game, up
he
2-0
can.
in the last game of the season to give us a red card? No, that cannot happen moving
Yes, he
forward. That
can.
was horrible. We all agree
No,
with
it
that.
wasn't.
But okay, who wants it? Who wants it?
I get that you're saying that the game that he got a red card at the second minute, but there's that game in Leagues Cup or something. Milanda got a red card in the last 30 seconds of the game
That's true too.
because of like one foul.
Well, the thing is, Zaha can't control his anger, and Milanda actually
Hold on. We ain't got a mic over there yet. We gotta get a mic back. See this? This is fun.
P.S. Milana can actually control his anger, unlike Zaha. Zaha actually
That
makes
part's
you
true.
see it on
Listen,
the field.
Zaha's a hothead. We all know that. He is an absolute hothead, but in my opinion, most of what he is doing is constructive. Again, can he get a red card in the last game? No,
Yes.
that cannot happen.
Yeah.
Like, well, he did. We
don't
know
want
he
him to.
did, but we don't want him to. And so, obviously, yeah, there is a level of discretion there that he needs to be able to kind of learn. But at the end of the day, I don't want him to trade that fire. I think that's something that the team needs collectively as a whole. Don't let it get the best of you and miss a playoff game next time around. Sure. But overall, we all felt the same. Listen, would we have felt that way when Zaha got that red card? Would we have felt that way
No.
about, say, maybe Milanda? Yes, obviously he's up there. But at the same time, to me, when Zaha got that red card in the last game, that tells you everything you need to know. We all felt, oh crap, what are we going to do? And it's because we're missing this player. So.
Well, I think one thing's for sure, and I'm going to be the peacemaker here, but all of these players, Wilfred, Pep, Byrne, and Milando were our most important players.
100%.
And our team doesn't go as top four without those players.
All four of them.
Yeah.
All four of them. So
All four of them for the crown.
there we go. Hey,
It's all about the fours.
no one can hear you necessarily, but yes, that is a good point. 4 players. Honestly, those are the 4 players, right? I mean, if you're going to pick, I think we did a good job regardless of kind of, and I'm glad that we all kind of picked somebody else other than the right side of the table, but literally the right side of the table. It is right to you guys over there watching us, I guess. But very fun. I think we can all agree, disagree on one of those. At the end of the day, what we can agree on, it was a hell of a season for the Crown, right? And so that was that wasn't a bow. That was just a bow on the regular players. And so then we'll very seamlessly, very casually move into coach. So really, to wrap this up, we want to kind of, in the spirit of season, in the spirit of giving, right? Holiday season. We have our own Santa list, but it's kind of the Santa list for next season, right? So your 2026 Charlotte FC roster. Who's a player we want to add? What's something we want to see added to the team? Just your wish list as a player, right, or as a person. We're going to take Caitlin's list first. Go ahead and flip it real close so everybody can see. I don't know how well everybody's been able to see the screen so far. So, Caitlin.
Mine is
Well, hold on. Get the mic.
the GOAT, Mohamed Salah.
Right there on that right wing. Oh, my gosh.
I think that he would just be a great addition
The
to
Egyptian.
go with Wilfred Zaha, and he's already not too happy with Liverpool already at this second and wants to go somewhere different. And there's been rumors he's going to go maybe to Chicago, and why doesn't he come to Charlotte?
I am 1,000% there. We get this man on the team next year. I did see that as well. I see this man on the team next year. Can you imagine the Zaha, Salah, already fun to say, combo? But I'm just saying on either wing between those two, oh my gosh. We lead the league in scoring. We lead the league in scoring with that player.
Who is Miami? If we have Mohamed Salah, who is Messi? What is Miami?
I love that wish list. I don't know how feasible it is. It doesn't need to be right now, though. We're all in the season of giving. So for Caitlin, it is Mohamed Salah, right winger, Liverpool. Zoran, I know you're watching. Go ahead. You look like you're ready. I'll go ahead and pass it straight on to you.
I think I was the one that broke the bring Mo to Charlotte first.
It was in the group chat, I believe.
It was in the group chat. I would love to see Mo
More
Salah.
Liverpool.
Obviously, he is on the outs with the Liverpool. So I don't know what's happening, but that's for another time, another conversation.
We can start at a
Anyhow,
Liverpool offseason pod.
I just think Mo Salah is amazing. It would be cool to have him here, and please don't go to San Diego or Chicago. And then my legit wish list player.
I love that name.
Take to play some Alonda. I'd love to see Virgil van Dijk here
Oh my
eventually.
gosh.
I mean, he's 34.
He's so.
I mean, he signed through
captain.
2027 with Liverpool, but obviously that might not mean a lot because, yeah. But he's so he's solid. He can score the ball. He can pass the ball. He can make the crazy.
I would argue he was the best defender in the world last year.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's 1 year removed from being the best defender in the world. So.
He's scoring he's a threat on corner kicks. I think he's solid. His leadership. He's just like a silent killer in the back. So
Those would be one of those two. We're already cooking. We get both of those players on this team. We start the Liverpool to Charlotte FC kind of connection. Hey, we're gonna be rocking and rolling. That's a great list. I guess go ahead with you, Brian.
On my Santa list is a U.S. men's national team player. I feel like we've been lacking this particular position.
I think I know who it's going to be.
A number 8 and a forcer.
Does his name start with a W?
No.
Tyler Adams.
Oh, okay. I was going the other one. I was going the other.
This guy, the attitude that he brings, just the quality that he would bring, that would be me.
That player can play.
That's pretty sweet.
My Christmas, to be honest.
Okay, I don't disagree. Tyler Adams would be great. I was thinking you were going Weston McKennie with that because I have heard rumors that he may be leaving Juventus soon, kind of looking in the MLS waters. Adams, what a runner, though. I mean, that guy, you talk about needing those steps in the midfield. We talked about that in our midseason grades, right? He adds that. I'll go next because Maddie looks like she's dying to go last over here. So I can't wait to see. I got 2 names on my list as well, not as cleanly written as everybody else. So I went, same thing, midfielder, Mr. Bernardo Silva from Manchester City. He is the captain of Manchester City right now. Obviously been there for years. He's still, I think he's 30, 31 years old at this point. So getting up there. But you talk about a versatile player. We talked about lacking depth on this team, in 2025. This player can play 6, 7 different positions. 6, 7. Yep. And legitimately play them very well, right? He can play on the wing if you need him to, but he's best suited in the midfield. Any of those, defensive, offensive. You tell me this guy can play it. So Bernardo Silva, to me, definitely number 1. Number 2 on the list, already been rumored to Charlotte, or at least that we put a bid out, David Alaba. Same position. If Virgil's available, sure. I think Alaba is very attainable at this point. We're talking about a player that probably 4 or 5 years ago was the best defender in the entire world. He can play left back. He can play left center back. He can play any of those, right? He can even move into the midfield if you need him to. To me, those 2 players would give us that class. We would kind of have a replacement for Malanda with the Alaba. And then, like I said, Bernardo Silva, just a class player in my opinion. So that's my list. Everybody shook their head on that, man. No one likes Bernardo Silva over here.
Manchester City.
Well, that's fair. Like I said, this is kind of a Liverpool-Manchester City dissension that I'm seeing here more than it is. I promise if this guy is on your team, you would love him. He can play football. I know that at the end of the day, and he can play. Yeah. Salah, Salah on the team, the Egyptian prince, hey, that would be sick. But to me, Silva gives us a lot more in a lot more areas is kind of my thought there.
Okay.
Last but not least, literally, you told me.
I want to see a Sir Minty goal.
A Minty goal?
I think that would be absolutely hilariously amazing. Best mascot in MLS. I think he should come on the field and just score a goal at the end of the season.
Hey, Gabby, edit this into a goal going into the net. So just show that going in the net.
That would be everybody's favorite thing. If he came on the field and scored a goal.
Do you have a player you'd like to see on Charlotte?
That's it. The round ball himself. Sir Minty himself. I love that. I think that's a great option. If we see Sir Minty score, and I guess everybody, one thing, if you guys get the word out, spread the word, as they say on The Wire. If we see a Minty goal, we also need to see a Mark national anthem. No, at the game next year. That's kind of. I'm gonna go ahead and get that momentum started now. I would love to sing it. Dino or whoever needs to know that. So put that word out. That's another thing on my wish list is to sing the national anthem at some point next year for Charlotte FC. So
this isn't my wish list. I think the team needs your wish list. And if we can't get Mo Salah, then why don't we put me in? Put me in, coach. Like I
Put
can
her in.
do better.
Put Mitzi in,
Put
please.
me in, coach. I can run out Dione and
Based on her grade, she's gonna be better than him anyway. So I don't necessarily
put me
disagree.
in,
with that.
coach. Put me in, Dean.
Oh,
That'd
man.
be
next.
perfect.
Well, I think we've officially ran off the rails with this, but in the best of ways. This is what it was all about, right? Listen, at the end of the day, to put a crown on it, to put a literal crown on this episode, on the season and everything. Listen, we set out to finish top 4. We
did.
finished top 4. Fantastic job by the team. Fantastic season. A lot of memories for all of us, I believe, right? At the end of the day. Obviously, we wish things would have gone better when the playoffs got here, and that's where we can have room for improvement next season. That's what next season's all about, right? There's always that time. It's always that time.
Yeah.
So, anything else? Anybody pressing? Nope. Everybody good? Everybody's ready to eat. It's time to
That's
eat.
right.
So it is that time. As always, like and subscribe. Love you all that watch. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
holidays.
Yeah,
Happy
happy
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa,
Happy
Feliz
Kwanzaa.
Cumpleaños, Feliz Navidad,
Feliz.
all of those
Cumpleaños.
things. We wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and as always,
For the crown.